Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 98. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Oh, shit, the sun's going out. No, it's not. This is the movie we're covering today. Wandering Earth. This one's on Netflix, and can't wait to get into it. But before we do, a little bit of entertainment news. Cut that fucking music. This is not a happy entertainment news. This is a pissed entertainment news because I'm tired of my feelings being played with. Enough is enough. God damn it. Why are these billionaire companies toying with our hearts? If you do not know, if you live under a rock, Marvel Studios / Disney and Sony have come to a standstill with Spider-Man. Marvel Studios went to them with a 50-50 deal. Sony's like, nope. And of course withdrew. And now, as of yesterday, Spider-Man is no longer in the MCU. They're still in talks trying to come to some agreement, but wow.
What's wrong with 50-50?
Right?
That sounds perfect. That's like right in the middle.
Spider-Man Far From Home became the highest grossing Sony movie ever 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. So they want all that money to themselves. That's what's wrong with 50-50. And both of these are great companies. I'm not trying to bash either one, but goddamn it, think of the fans. Think you're both worth billions of dollars. This IP is worth billions of dollars. There has to be a way for two companies to come together and work out how to split all these billions of dollars.
Right.
Because it made $1 billion last week officially. And I know what Sony's thinking. Sony's like, we're over here, we're building our Spider-Man villain verse because they have Venom. Venom 2's been announced. Morbius, the Living Vampires coming out. They plan on making their own in Sinister Six. Spider-Man, as part of the contract, could not be part of that. But now, now they have two more Spider-Man movies to make. That poor old Tom Holland, who has, his career has been built around these things, being part of the MCU. Now he has to be pushed into Sony alone. And we've seen what Sony does with Spider-Man movies when they're left to their own devices. Now he has to go and do that. And possibly he has to join in the Venom crew, and he may make an appearance in Morbius, which that's good. But it's like, the last two Spider-Man movies have been precedented on his involvement with the Avengers, specifically Tony. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden now it's like, nope, Avengers no longer exist. I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man again.
Yeah, not a good move, I don't think.
So yeah, man, what are your thoughts on this? Because I'm livid. Like, I'm pissed.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't think they're thinking about the fans, actually. I think they're just thinking about the money, but then they're not realizing that's where they're getting their money from, is the fans.
Yes.
So if people just made a petition and were like, guess what, Sony? If you guys don't let this happen, we're not going to support your movies.
I think that needs to happen.
If enough people do that, then they'll maybe think that 50-50 sounds better.
That's me.
50% of $1 billion or nothing.
Oh no, I'm only getting 50% of $1 billion, dude. and that's just billion opening. Like, that's what it's made so far. It's gonna make a lot more than that. Like, Sony did have a reply. Let me find that reply real quick. Because they were getting dragged through the mud. Because of everyone was putting the blame on them. Okay. They came back on Twitter and said, much of today's news about Spider-Man has mischaracterized recent discussions about Kevin Feige's involvement in the franchise. We are disappointed, but respect Disney's decision not to have him continue as lead producer of our next live-action Spider-Man film. We hope this might change in the future, but understand that many new responsibilities that Disney has given him, including all the newly added Marvel properties. So they're trying to say Kevin Feige is too busy to do Spider-Man now, which I have to call BS on. They're just trying to hide this whole money thing. Because he's come out and already said Spider-Man's one of his favorite characters in the Marvel universe, period, not just MCU. And with what they did with Spider-Man Far From Home, pretty sure they don't want to just let him go because I'm too busy now.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. And you can't take it back now. You can't be like, oops, Venom Part 1 didn't happen, so now we're going to change that story. Try to make it better by adding Spider-Man. Man, this is... Yeah, we're the ones who suffer in this, and I'm sorry I Shanghai Entertainment News, but it just this was the biggest news. Yes, other than I will add this in closing of Entertainment News. Matrix 4 was announced. Neo and Trinity are coming back for Part 4, and the Wachowski's sister is writing and directing that. So that's good news.
Yeah. Cool. How they're gonna do that one?
Yeah, that's gonna be after the way.
Yeah,
relations ended. That's gonna be pretty difficult. But sorry, after that long-winded rant, and I could go on because I had dreams about this shit. Like Tony, Happy in Spider-Man Far From Home was like, Tony did what he did because he knew you were here. Tony's death is in vain because there's no more Peter Parker. Anyway, that'll angrily bring us to trailers. You first, Amisa.
Go right ahead.
I'm going to do one that I saw, actually, I think just today. Oh, too much anger in my head. Let's see. What was that? Antlers. Horror film. Looks creepy. I love the way they did this teaser here. Little kid telling a story about the three bears. And it slowly turns into this not quite three bears story where Big Bear and Little Bear or Medium Bear.
He was a Medium Bear, I believe.
He's Medium Bear, yeah. So Big Bear and Little Bear go crazy and they're only left with themselves. It's hard to explain this trailer because it like he's telling this story and it just gets progressively.
It has a. You did. I saw. This was actually my trailer as well, but luckily for me, I came with the second one. Okay. But it's got a great build up. I mean, it's just ridiculous how it just. The story is perfect. The way the kid's telling it, and you can it's about him and not about three bears. But I mean, it's just perfect how the teacher is just standing there listening to that, and then with her face, and then he's slowly going through the story, and you see all these crazy, like towards the end of the trailer, all these crazy horror elements,
monsters, and then all of a sudden, some kind.
Yeah, and they look pretty sweet from what I can tell from glimpse from the trailer, and then at the end the kid's just like, well, at least we have each other.
Yep.
It's like, what? You have to see that one.
Yeah, and it's Guillermo del Toro. Thank you. So yeah, we know what he can do with horror elements, and he makes beautiful fucking movies and creatures. Pan's Labyrinth. So your trailer, sir. Or other trailer.
Yeah, my other trailer, because he stole mine. This is awesome. That trailer, definitely check that one out, people. This one isn't quite as awesome, but it's still interesting. It's called Underwater, and it has Kristen Stewart in there. She's rocking her new haircut, a little short deal. And at first, I have mixed emotions about this trailer, because at first I didn't think it looked very good. I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, so she's in there, she's in a little underwater thing, and she's hanging out, and she's doing stuff, and then something's happening, and then they do some weird slow motion thing, like it was necessary, and I'm like, oh, great, this is going to be crap. And then I kept watching, And it turns into this, there's, we need to get out of here. We need to walk on the bottom of the ocean to get home or whatever. I'm thinking, okay, that's different. That's a little different, and I don't remember seeing that before.
Yeah.
And then we have limited air, but we got to use these, little underwater suits and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And then it turns into they're walking, but they don't know what's out there. And all of a sudden they're being stalked while they're walking on the bottom of the ocean. So now I'm like really interested because I'm just like, oh man, this is, it looks exciting. Before it looks stupid. They just look like another, they look like another underwater movie. Who cares? And it has Kristen in it. That's fine. I understand she's popular. She's got a new haircut. Maybe that'll draw people in. I doubt it. But then they're being stalked by this crazy thing underwater. It just starts to look cool because of that. So I'm kind of interested in seeing it just to see what's going on in the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of like a space movie, but underwater.
Yep.
Because apparently there's a creature of some kind down there. Well, something was awakened, but we don't know what.
Little baby Godzilla.
Could be, Godzilla.
Hope it's not a kaiju.
Yeah, I really hope it's not. I don't know. I hope they go just as far out there as they can with it, and it's not just like a big fucking shark or something, Because I'd be really upset. We got the Meg already, people. Let's not do that again. But yes, that will bring us to our feature presentation, Wandering Earth. Watchbot's going to have a field day with these names. Glad I don't have to do it. Watchbot, if you do not mind.
When the sun dies out, the people of Earth build giant thrusters to move the planet out of orbit and sail to a new star system. After 2,500 years, young people continue the fight for everyone's survival. It stars Jingwu, Chuk Seokwu, Guangji Li, and a host of others.
Thank you, Watchbot. This one was put out on Netflix quietly. Robert had been telling me about it and telling me to watch it here for quite some time. And I got around to it and did not regret it at all. Can I get your initial thoughts on this?
I don't remember where I first heard about this. I thought it was probably on a video or something. I usually like a YouTube video, and I was like, okay, I'll finally check it out. Checked it out. Just like you said, I was not disappointed. I was kind of surprised, actually, because I'm not a huge fan of these disaster movies. There's a bunch of them that came out like all together some years back, and I kind of missed quite a few of them because I was just so tired of the whole disaster movie thing. But this one was just like and it's similar to other movies we've seen. Like I know you're a big fan of Sunshine. You introduced me to that one.
Yeah, I love that.
And that is an amazing movie if you guys haven't seen it. And it has some similarities to that as well as some other movies. But man, I was just thinking they're going to move. I mean, it is kind of a ridiculous idea. Like, is that even possible?
I don't think so.
It just seems unlikely, but I'm not like a big science guy, so I'm not going to do the math and try to figure it out. But it just seems unlikely that you could attach a bunch of jet engines to the planet and then move it.
As heard from Watchbot, Earth the sun is being unstable and is either going to blow up or die, and they get the idea to move Earth. So they build giant engines on it and chart a course for a new galaxy that has a star that can sustain us. Yeah.
It seems unlikely, but you know what? It's a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to make perfect sense. It can be a little out there and a little crazy. That's okay. Because you lose yourself. Like when you're watching a movie, you forget about all the the fact that this probably isn't possible. You forget all that and you get lost in the fun of the movie. So I definitely did.
I did too. I will say this. I normally steer clear of the Netflix dubbed movies because some of them are done so poorly. Because there's this one book, there's a new show on there called Becoming Human, or More Than Human, Better Than Human, Better Than Human, I think. And it has an awesome sounding premise. Their robots, androids have been introduced. They look just like us and all that jazz. And then I sit down and watch it, I think it's a Russian show originally, and it's been dubbed over with English actors. And these English actors are so emotionless when they're reading the lines. It's like there's supposed to be a husband and a wife arguing about who keeps the kids. He's my son and she's my daughter. I love them. They should come with me, not you. I think they should come with me instead. And the people's expressions are like bitterly angry. And you can tell they're upset. They're pissed. But these people, these dub actors are like, I'm just going to read it off the page. You know? So when I saw this, I was like, okay, I don't know if I want to finish this, you know, but I should know better because politically correct term, not Asians, Japanese people are very, very good with dubbing because of anime. They find the right character dub actors who actually put emotion and feeling into it. Is what I'm trying to get at. They do a great job. Their movies aren't crappy because of dubbing, if that makes sense. No. I watched a lot of dub anime in my youth and some of my adult life, and you want passion and good acting from your dub voice actors, you know, and that's what we got for this film. Long story short, that's what we got for this film.
I'm not sure. Was this made in Japan or China?
China.
Okay. I thought it was China. I was like, why
I apologize. Same thing for their show. But I did feel like I may edit that whole thing out. I mean,
don't.
I did feel like this was like an anime, though. It kind of felt like an anime, and it has the setup to go on as an anime. But I'm jumping ahead, not as anime, but as you can turn this into a show, and it would.
Well, yeah, because they're supposed to take the end game of it was like thousands of years. It wasn't just like, you know,
200,000 years or something.
Yeah, so it's like this is a long plan. This is
100 generations is what they said it's gonna take. So yeah, you could go on and on with like Adventures of the Wandering Earth, and I would sit down and watch every single one of them. But let's get into this. So sun's dying out. What do you think? What do you think of that, sir? Sun's dying out.
It's gonna happen. I mean, in real life, so that's a believable, you know, plot, you know, device. I mean, despite the fact that moving the Earth seems preposterous, I mean, still, I keep going back to that because I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around it. I feel like it could happen, but I don't think. I don't know. I'll drop it. I just can't wrap my mind around it.
Giant thrusters being built to the Earth. What are you thinking?
10,000 thrusters on Earth?
Just giant thrusters moving Earth. I don't know, man. I don't. I think the Earth would shake apart first. Like, especially.
I don't know. Gravity's pretty strong. And then gravity's what's keeping this planet together.
That's the whole thing, though. Like, a lot of our gravity comes from the moon and the way we rotate around the sun. That's
one thing I was wondering about in the movie is like, what do they do with the moon? They just left it. It's like we kind of need it for they did say like after they left or whatever their orbit that there's going to be all kinds of
so they built the ring one around the Earth. And they to stop the rotation of the Earth, and they said that actually killed half the population.
Right. It's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But in a weird sort of way, even though it seems so crazy, it does seem like something that could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like this is. I mean, they could. I don't know. Seems plausible.
But so they do that, and then they build butt thrusters on the Earth. One side of the Earth, the cold side, I guess, decides to put thrusters on it, and it propels itself, not spinning anymore because the ring keep it stable. The ring of thrusters keep it stable, and then it's propelling through space, being guided by a giant satellite space station. Because all the countries have come together, the whole world has come together because this is a world-ending, humanity-ending threat. So they all come together, and everybody's represented on this space station, guiding it.
I did like how they all lived like underneath the thrusters because that's the only place that was warm enough.
Yep, I thought that was awesome.
That was pretty cool idea.
All these little colonies are built around and underneath, mostly underneath. The work is being done around the thrusters, which is pretty amazing. This particular story of the Wandering Earth is about a father and son, and then eventually a grandfather and adopted
daughter, yeah.
A technically adopted granddaughter because the father never meets her.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it would be.
And
actually, if the granddaughter adopts the girl, that's like his daughter instead. But then to the boy who's older than her, that's like his adopted mom.
Essentially, yeah,
kinda, or
adopted
something. Adopted aunts. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. I don't know what I was going with mom, but yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah, so
not quite as trippy as whatchamacallit, Jon Snow with what's her face.
Luckily that didn't happen. No Game of Thrones Daenerys hooking up. No. But yeah, so yeah, that the grandfather adopts this girl who, I guess, as they stopped the Earth, he saved her from being killed in that devastation and brought her home. Yeah, that's
the movie.
That's our main cast right there. They get joined later by some awesome engine soldiers.
Yeah,
I don't know what you would call them. I'm sorry, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce any of these names.
Don't have
because I would just make a fool of myself.
What was the main character doing? He just wanted to get out of the colony and go out and see the real world. Is that basically it?
Yeah. So the main character, his father leaves and goes on not on purpose. He has to go to work on the space station, and he would be back in 17 years. Is that right?
Something like that.
Yeah. When they passed Jupiter, it was going to be a 17-year shift change, basically. You're up there for 17 years, and his shift change was going to be when Earth passed Jupiter, but that's when all the devastation happens, and he doesn't get to come back. But the son of this lieutenant gets resentment now because he never really knew his father after a certain point in his life. So he is frustrated and wants to leave his...
I think he's mainly upset because his dad has to make a decision to kill his mother, who was already basically like very ill and was probably not going to make it anyway.
Especially seeing as how they had to stop the Earth and kill.
So like more than likely he had to have somebody, because the boy was so young, he had to have somebody there to take care of him, and the only person available was his dad, his granddad. So he had to make that decision, I think, to let the mom die. I think that was what he was. Besides him leaving and being resentful for that, basically killing his mom.
I think you're right. And I mean, you don't want to put, speaking for the dad, you don't want to put, okay, I need you to watch my son and my dying wife. Please take care of them. Yeah. But yeah, so there's definitely some depth among all the action and sci-fi-ness for sure.
Yep. Definitely some good family storytelling. The one thing that it is lacking, though, for me anyway, not that every movie has to have a romance. I don't feel like there was really there wasn't a romance anywhere.
Oh no, there wasn't. You're right.
Most movies somewhere in there has a little bit of romance.
I gotta tell you, I didn't miss it.
Yeah, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't necessary for in every movie, but yeah, if it had it, if anything, the love that was in the movie was not only the family members, the father and the grandfather and the boy, but the boy for his adopted sister as well. Yep. Because he did, quite a bit for her as well.
Yeah. But yeah, he wants to go out to the surface and I guess just work out there.
I'm not sure what he wanted to do. He wanted to drive a big truck. He likes
so
trucks.
these the workers around the engines harvest mountainsides, entire mountains. Rock, because it's the fuel for the Earth.
Which is another thing, a science-based thing for the Aren't you eventually going to run out of fuel? Because you're eating up the Earth. I guess you are making the Earth lighter as you do that, but then that's going to change the gravity. So once again, I'm going to quit because I can't wrap my head around it.
But yeah, it goes, yeah. But his grandfather drives one of those trucks, and he steals his grandfather, or no, the daughter steals the grandfather's badge and gives it to the brother. And they go get some solar suits, which apparently are pretty rare, from this mobster guy, which was a fun scene, setting up some stuff for later. Mm-hmm. The bubble ball thing. Yep. And they go up to the top. And I don't know why I was expecting it to be, I guess because they were called solar suits. I was expecting heat. Right. But they went up there.
No, they're moving away from the sun because the sun's going to blow up and get them. So they want to move away. So it's probably going to be colder. That's
what I should have, that didn't click in my head. I kept thinking solar suits. And then once they open that door to the elevator, take them up, 500 kilometers? I don't know how high that is. But they negative what? No, it's negative something degrees.
It was cold.
It's cold enough to freeze you to death in minutes or seconds, I should say. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was pretty cool. And there's this whole colony lifestyle up there of people driving around in these gigantic rock carrying trucks, feeding the engines. But of course, we can't have this happy-go-lucky of a boy going on adventures without trouble happening. Mm-hmm. Their plan is to slingshot around Jupiter and use its gravity to propel them even further, right?
Yeah, I think that's the only way they could get enough speed for us to escape.
Yeah, our solar system.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Science?
Yes. But yes.
And that goes wrong because... Why does that go wrong? That goes wrong...
It just goes wrong because they get too close and the gravity is too great and they start sucking up the atmosphere of the planet and then things just go awry and whoops.
So Earth starts to sink into Jupiter because the gravity's bad and the engines all stop. The power goes out on them because of this. The space station has an AI. And this isn't I'm sorry, Dave. This is a horrible, horrible, bad. I guess you can't call it horrible. It's a machine. It's trying to think logically. We find out that the space station is not just a guidance system. It's an arc, which I think is pretty cool. And I'm skipping a lot of stuff here.
There's a lot going on in this movie. It's pretty cool.
There's so much going on. There's like I said, the Earth is falling into dismay. These super soldiers. One has a freaking Gatling gun that he pulls down.
Really, that super reminded me of Aliens.
Yes.
And there is a lot of this stuff in this movie that feels like it was taken from other movies, but I don't think it diminishes this movie's... No,
because they have such an outstanding original story behind it. That stuff is just we'll borrow this little thing, Yeah,
but it doesn't take away from it. I still think this is a good movie, despite the fact that it's so similar to other ones. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have any... Well, there's lots of standout moments, but do you have any specific in your mind?
There's so many, in the beginning, it started off a little slow. I'll be honest. I wasn't totally engrossed in the first 10 minutes. It took a little while for me to get there. But when I did finally get there, there's some pretty sweet stuff. When they first get to the surface, I was pretty impressed with the size of the vehicles and how the technology was working. I thought that was pretty cool. So that kind of drew me in a little bit. And then when they got arrested, the two young ones got arrested and Grandpa came to save them. Yeah. It kind of pulled me out just a little bit because it became kind of funny.
Yeah, he's like a comic relief for a while.
So, but then after that, it just turns into this wild ride when, especially they're trying to get back to their colony, and then they get shanghaied, and they have to basically try to take one of these restarter cores or whatever they call them to one of the jet engines to get everything going. It just, from that moment on, it was just like a wild ride. And I loved the thing he had on his arm. Even though he didn't really use it that much, he had this like super power glove thing. I don't think they utilized it as much as they should have.
Agreed.
He kept saying he was a genius, and yeah, he did come up with the plan that basically
he felt Kanye West to me.
He's very angry. But
hey sis, don't you know your brother's a genius? He said that like no less than 8 times in this movie.
And he did come up with the plan that saved, spoilers, the planet, but still, it was just like, when are you going to show me that genius party? And then he finally does. And I guess the biggest part for me was the ending. Yeah. I thought the ending was just really well done. I mean, you saw it coming. I mean, you saw the sacrifices that everybody had to make coming in a way. You saw, I knew that girl was going to give the speech. I knew because I hated it. She gave that speech, and I knew everybody was going to turn their asses around and come back, and everybody's going to run in and save the day and blah blah blah. I don't understand why they had to like hand push that thing together.
Yeah, there had to be some kind of mechanism.
I feel like there was a better way, but I guess this wouldn't need all those other people to come running back to help.
Like they could have drove a truck in there.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought for sure, like, how is old boy not going to get crushed when he climbs into that thing? And that was pretty smart of the other guy to jump down and pull him out. There's so many fun scenes in it. It's kind of hard to just pin one of them down. And like all of it, it's just once you get there, once it starts picking up, it's a wild ride and it's a lot of fun.
I love the revelation that this was foreseen. And this is actually a arc, and we are going to continue on this mission to the solar system with all these, the DNA of humans and all these species, and everyone else on Earth is going to die. I was like, yes.
Like he did all that.
Yeah.
All that work, all those people died just so you could crash the planet into Jupiter.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
But I guess hope, man. Hope.
Yeah. I love her little hope speech. I can't.
That's what feels it.
It got me. I was like, oh, you guys.
You guys. Everybody needs to come together, because if we don't. I gotta tell you, her voice actor.
I don't understand what else they were going to do. Why they were even running? You can't outrun the destruction of the planet. Yeah. You race back to your loved one, give them one last hug, or you're going to spend those last few hours trying to save your loved ones. I mean,
fight to the bitter end, because like that French dude said, what are we going to do? We have 7 days to get there. We'll never make it. Sorry, guys.
Pretty entertaining, though.
But yeah, you're right. Like, why not just go and try to do everything you can to, like, even this united government is like, we don't authorize this. We're not going to help you because we're just going to sit back and die. I don't know.
And I don't think there was enough safeguards on that arc.
No,
because he was able to just do what he had to do to detach that and go ahead and run his ship into the where he had to run it. I don't want to give all of it away in case somebody wants.
They needed one of those I Am Mother robots on there.
Yes. Just picture that running out. All of a sudden the door opens. It comes running out of there like, oh shit.
You're not authorized. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. So many good parts. So the action and like the visual effects were fantastic for a little movie that's hiding in somewhere on the corner of Netflix. Holy cow! Like, I don't know. I guess I'm at a computer. I could find the budget of this, but yeah, they did an amazing job with the budget. Not the budget, with the visual effects. The suits, everything just looked good to me. Like even the trail of tail that Earth was leaving in space. Yeah, the vehicles driving, like these giant vehicles that don't exist, they made it seem like they existed.
This had to have cost a pretty penny. There's no way, because it just pretty visually stunning.
But it was, I thought so too. $50 million budget.
That's it?
It.
Like 50 million isn't a lot.
and holy cow, it did. I'm just gonna say it, $700 million at the box office.
Whoa.
I'm assuming that's overseas box office, but good Lord, so they more than.
Yeah, they made their money back.
And that's they can make those engines for the Earth to go. So, with that said, we very well may be getting more of this. Apparently this is a novel. I may have to. Well, it's probably not in English.
I'm sure you can find an English copy of that. Come on now.
That's pretty damn amazing. Hop over to Rotten Tomatoes here. Tomato meter 75%.
This is what surprised me though. Look at the audience score.
Yeah, that's odd that the critics rated this higher than the audience.
Well, that sometimes happens, but I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I'm thinking, like, how could somebody else not? But it's about 50-50.
That's only 32 critics, as opposed to 723 audience members. But yeah, I agree. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Apparently, we're going to get a go watch from both of us.
Yeah.
Go watch for sure. And this is on Netflix. This is the easy one. For sure, go watch that. That is, because I had a blast.
Yeah, get ready to have a good time, because this is that kind of movie.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, the action's great. The visually looks amazing for $50,000. I think the Marvel folk $50 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Marvel people and those big budget people could probably take a page out of these guys' books and do their movies a bit cheaper and get a Spider-Man back.
And even though I should have seen it coming at the very end when he jumps off of that thing to save the sister.
Yeah.
Even though I should have seen it coming, I didn't know how he was going to get out of that. I completely forgot about.
Me too.
I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, no. And
I kind of wanted him to die though. I don't.
You wouldn't have got that cool scene at the end when he's walking. All you see is the back of his head, because But now he's like the man, and everybody's like, hey, it's him.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like that. Yeah, the father passing was cool, but I guess some Marines died that she didn't expect. So I guess that was This felt like a Final Fantasy game. Like you just watching it play out. It was extremely cool movie. Anything else? Any finishers on this one?
No, it's just good stuff. Good stuff in space
for sure. So. Go watch from both of us on The Wandering Earth, out now on Netflix. Go check that one out. Where you can find us, gowatchmovie.com. The tragic story of Spider-Man leaving the MCU that I did on Entertainment News is up on gowatchmovie.com. I'll put the trailers up there. You can find us anywhere a podcast can be played. Please leave likes and comments and subscribes and all that stuff. Very much appreciated. Apple, iTunes, the Spotify. You can find us on all that stuff. And if the sun does go out, I hope somebody is out there making giant engines for us right now.
I want to be on the Ark. I want out.
I'll be the mobster sitting in there trading solar suits and screaming,
playing video games.
Why are you stealing from me? But that's Go Watch a Movie, episode 98. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go watch a movie. Bring back Spider-Man.